all the things that she mentioned that we're doing, we just want people to understand that this is not a corporate-based control thing. We're about the artist. This is an artist-based thing. Everything we do is based on the artist, taking them into consideration and addressing things from their perspective and needs. So we're not just kind of a big corporation throwing all this out there and not caring about the artist or the audience. So our focus is mainly and most importantly to make sure that the artists are happy. We're doing things the way they want to do it with their blessing and not based on what an accountant says needs to be done or what we need to do to return our investment on the death row.
Because we know that if we listen to our fans and our artists, and now just to be serious for a moment, if you actually proceed in an entertainment company with the integrity of the artist's intent and with what the fans love, okay, the true fans, like for example the Death Row fans, right?
They're very passionate.
Very passionate. They own this label, okay? You're going to succeed. Sean Jones is a perfect example. He says, you know, he sort of jokes around and he says, I'm going to stick to this soul of a rock thing because that's what this is that he's doing. You know, we've had people say, oh, you should try to sound more like Seal or Lenny Kravitz, or you're black, you should be doing R&B, this and that. And, you know, as the head of the company and the person that's really, you know, spearheading with the team, his, you know, worldwide domination, if we did anything less than allowing this fella to shine through what's in his head and give him the time to fine-tune it, then we would be failing as a company and be failing this artist. And the same is true with Death Row. You know, there's all these people out there that started to try to encourage it towards a kind of convoluted approach of stripping the vocal and adding new tracks to beats and this and that. And we want to take it back to what the fans love. And like we say, all Death Row recording artists have been given a full pardon by Wide Awake Death Row Entertainment LLC. We're all going to go forward with integrity.
Yeah, we won't be changing it and doing the Tupac and Barry Manilow remixes or nothing like that. We're going to stay with the original.
We're not doing the Barry Manilow project?
No, we're going to surprise them.
That's the thing. Most people will be afraid of what you're going to do with the Tupac
so you know, just so you know, I was at Death Row at the very beginning.
Okay.
So I know the guys well. I did the Deep Cover soundtrack. I know them, so I've been in this business a while. I've worked with everyone from Count Basie to the Rolling Stones. So people may not know who we are per se, but if they were to Google either one of us, they would see that we are. She was an artist as well. So I've worked with almost everybody in the industry. So I grew up in Detroit a long time, so I've seen it all the time. So we are about the artists. It's not about us or our names.
Did we mention we're about the artists? Do you want to tell them that we're about the artists?
It's very important that
they have creative control.
I'm not just saying it to you, I'm saying it to people, I'm also saying it to the artists. We are reaching out and talking to them, but it's very important that people understand that our decisions that we make are going to be based on first making sure that the artists are cool with what we're doing, as well as the fans. We're not going to make decisions based on a marketing idea because somebody thinks that we can sell cheese to get somebody done. We want the artist, and then we should be treated as. And
you want to know what's fabulous about that? We do work with brands like Lucky Brand Jeans dresses Sean in the band. Even gives us clothes miraculously. And they don't ask us to do a single thing different with Sean. And so there are brands and artists that can find each other if you use an approach that has integrity that then will resonate with fans and consumers in a far better, more effective way than if you shove stuff down people's throat or try to invent something that doesn't exist or force artists to be something they're not or create content that makes no sense to the fans. That's not who we are. We really, 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 really want to make this right.
What do you say to the haters out there? Because there's a lot of skeptics out there that don't think you can resurrect Death Row.
You know what's so great about being underestimated? The naysayers make you stronger. I am not fazed by any of it. I am not interested in tabloid. I wish Mr. Knight well. We think, you know, he is a very, very, very powerful persona, and whatever he decides to do, right on. But any negativity, we have a force field around us, just like the daughter. I'm not done yet. I have
wait and see. We are going to do.
Wait, I want to tell them about this idea I have. We have a force field, just like Violet in The Incredibles did. You know, a big bubble of protection goes around us, and all the haters and the naysayers, they bounce right off and go off into oblivion. And we are sitting in a place of positivity, and we are testimony that if you're positive, you can win, because nobody thought that we would beat out the other bidders and get this asset. And here we sit.
And as a woman in the music industry, have you found it hard to keep going with all the negativity forced on your throat?
Well, there are some hilarious rumors out there, you know, and then I saw, you know, some headlines that are accurate but funny, like Jewish soccer mom buys DEATHROW records, you know, and I am a Jewish soccer mom, and my son plays for West End United Soccer here in town here. He's on a rep team, and I will yell with the rest of the moms, and while I'm doing it, I'll be on my BlackBerry cutting a $2 million deal or a publishing deal or whatever. I think the beauty of being female is that we are so good at multitasking, and everybody who knows me in this industry knows that I'm very personal in my approach to business. You know, we sat down with a lovely young man, Crooked Eye, on Sunday in Los Angeles in his studio, and you know, I looked at him and I said, look, I'm not cool, okay? I'm wearing jeans and I'm sitting here cross-legged on your couch talking about your career and what we intend to do, and I'm accessible and I'm honest, and I get it. I honestly, I'm still a working musician. I'm still writing, I'm still putting out records, all that good stuff. And you know, I've been astounded when you go to CD Baby, because I'm a big believer in the indie world. You can still go to LARA LAVI at CD Baby, and the records are still selling.
You have two that I know of.
Yeah.
The Art of Living and Inside the Red Room.
There's actually three. There's the Art of Living and Inside the Red Room, which are my solo projects. And then there's this totally whacked out thing we did called the Song Catchers, which is a merger of Native American singing and drumming and rock and soul and spoken word that I founded with the horn player for the Neville Brothers.
Wow.
And the keyboardist for The Time, Mark Cardenas, and Maurice Jones Jr., who produced Sean's record, and Arlie Neskahai, who is a full-blooded Navajo Indian and the leader of the White Eagle Indian Singers. And we toured the world with Peter Gabriel. We did every Wilmad. We toured with the Nevilles. We did all kinds of things. We won tons of awards, and we played every Indian reservation and reserve there is, and we formed educational projects from it. And I was like the Earth Mother Goddess in that group, you know. And so I'm cool with whatever, because I'm about creating, and I know these artists are about creating. And as a woman, I think it's a distinct advantage. We all know that women have amazing intuition. You know, we don't necessarily base our decisions always just on what's on a page. We look at somebody and we dig into our own spirituality to figure out, is this a good deal or not? I tend to connect directly, and I love the artists. But it isn't just the artists. When I knew John by reputation, good reputation, and but when we met, it was like we had each other at hello. You know, I knew that if we were going to win this bid, I wouldn't want to do this company without John being there. He was there at DEATHROW in the beginning. With Sean, the same thing. You know, you walk in as a woman, you know what's right, and you know, I'm still a mom. I'm still a businesswoman. I'm also an attorney. You know, I'm into the environment. I have degrees in wildlife biology and natural resources. Left to my own devices, I'd like to go kayaking in my non-existent free time. But in all of this, you know, I still write songs. I'm writing screenplays. I'm doing business deals. I believe, I saw an article about myself once where it said that Lara Lavi is walking through the aisles of life with a shopping cart, pulling things off the shelves that she thinks would be cool.
Well, if you're interested in it, why not?
Absolutely.
If it floats your boat, go out and do it.
Yeah, and I think it's good for business and good for the artists and good for my colleagues and very bad for my sleep patterns.
You can sleep when you're dead, right?
Yeah, sleep when you're dead. Besides, Wide awake is the new sleep.
Wide awake.